I don't think you should buy a Game Boy flash cartridge, like I did. Or at least, if you do, I think you should have a good reason, like I did. And of course, this is all my opinion. If you want to buy a flash card, go ahead and do it. This is all just based on my disappointment with using one to play games. So, if the reason you want to buy a flash card is to play games, maybe don't. Something I really like about the older generations of game consoles is you put the game in, you turn the console on, and you get to play the game. There's no home screen or menus to go through. It's just right into the game. But a flash cartridge kind of gets rid of that immediacy. When you boot up a flash cartridge, you get put into the flash cartridge's menu, and you have to look for the game you want to play, select it, then it'll load it. Usually it's pretty quick to load, and then you're playing the game. And if you had the hopes of putting all of your games onto an SD card so that you can play them from your flash cartridge, then it's going to be a bit painful to actually find the game you want to play. You see, when you're trying to find your game on the flash cartridge, the menus are running at the speed of the Game Boy, and that's not very fast. Another problem I have with having all of the games available on the flash cartridge is it kind of makes it really hard to pick the game you want to play. I have a lot of trouble with this. I'm kind of happy that I was an N64 fanboy because there weren't that many games. So it was easy to pick one. If I had, for some reason, gotten a PlayStation instead, I don't know what I would have done. There's just too many games. Now, of course, there are some conveniences to using a flash cartridge. For one thing, having all of the games available to you can be pretty convenient. And they generally can play any of the games, no matter if they require saving, a real-time clock. They generally don't have a runable feature, but you can maybe live without that. They also tend to support up to 8 megabyte games. Another nice feature of flash cartridges, or at least the Easy Flash Junior, is that it gives you a way to transfer your save files from the cartridge to emulators, or from emulators to the cartridge, and that's nice. And of course, it's really easy to get games onto the flash cartridge. You just copy them onto an SD card and away you go. The fancier flash cartridges apparently have save states. I'm not really sure how that works or how the compatibility is with those, but pretty nifty feature. So what should you maybe do instead of buying a flash card? Well, you can build your own. That's fun. But maybe that's a bit silly for most people. Really what I would recommend is buying an emulation handheld. I think you get more bang for your buck out of that. If you really want to play on original hardware, then I recommend the type of flash card that only holds one game. You'll probably need some special hardware to load the games onto it, and they can be a lot less convenient than SD card based flash card because they don't support all types of Game Boy cartridges, so you have to be careful about which one you get. But it does give you back the immediacy of putting in a cartridge and it loading right away with no menus. And since you're picking your game ahead of time, you already know what you're going to play, and it kind of limits your options, at least every time you try to boot up. Or if you have a lot of money to burn and you can find them in stock, you can always buy an analog pocket, because I understand those can play ROMs now. So why did I buy a flash card? Well, it's because I do a little bit of Game Boy programming. It's much more convenient to be able to test things out on actual hardware using the flash card, and I also do silly things for videos. Well, like I said, this was my opinion. Bye!